Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Wanderlust Wednesday. This is the webinar series in which we take you on fantastic voyages all around the world. My name is Lori Overton. I am the owner of Overton Travel, and I am your host for this webinar series. And I am so excited to be here. It's been a while. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while since I've had a webinar. So, the only thing I like better than traveling itself is talking about travel. So I got a captive audience here, and we are just going to chat away. So what I want to do today is go through the remaining 2022 trips that Overton Travel has available, as well as talk to you about what we have slated for 2023. Several people say, hey, Lori, keep me abreast about your schedule, what's going on. And just to let you know that everything that I talk about today, all of these trips are on the website, on overtontravel.com. So if you ever want to know what is coming up, what we have planned, you can go to overtontravel.com. You can see all the group trips that are there. And then once you click on the trip, it has the itinerary, day-to-day, what we're doing on the trip. It has the cost of the trip. I get emails all the time. Oh, Lori, how much did this cost or that cost? Every trip, when you click on it, it has the cost for double occupancy, the cost for single occupancy. If the flights are available, we even put the flight schedule. So I try to put as much information out there as possible about the trip. So it's on the website, and we are constantly updating the website. So FYI, overtontravel.com is your source for all the information about the trip. Okay, so before we do a deep dive into the actual trips, I just want to find out, who do we have online? So I'm going to try to see if I can do this little poll here. I have a poll. I want to find out, for those of you who are up here, who has traveled with Overton Travel before and who has not traveled with us before. All right. So, oh my goodness. So far, I'm going to end the poll. So far, we have 41% of you have traveled with Overton Travel, and 59% has not traveled. So, wow, I have an audience of primarily newbies. So I hope to convert the ones that say no, they haven't traveled with Overton Travel, or you may say me, because I haven't traveled with me before. I hope to turn those no's to yeses by the end of this call, and you will be part of the Overton Travel family. Okay. Now I have another question that I want to ask before we get into this. Okay. So I want to know, we are coming out of the pandemic. We're not totally out at this point. And I want to know, what's your take? How many of you are ready to go? And how many of you are kind of like, I'm still a little hesitant. I may put that big toe in the water, but that whole foot's not going in yet. And then some of you are like, nah. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna watch Wanderlust Wednesdays, Lori. I'm not ready to go yet. And so, all right. It's coming. Okay. So some of you still respond. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying here. Here we go. So 70% of y'all are ready to go. Y'all are ready to go, and I'm with you. And then the other 30% say, kinda, you're still a little hesitant. I get you. I get it. I hear you. I have a lot of people that are still hesitant, but they're going to feel the fear and do it anyway. So hopefully we can convert some of you guys that are a little hesitant. And if you are hesitant, I think the best way to do it is just jump in. But we do have some trips that may not be as far off as others. We have some trips to like the Caribbean islands, Jamaica, or to Mexico. that's a little bit closer. We do some U.S. trips. I don't have U.S. trip planned for 2023 yet. I'm working on it. Or we have some trip planned to places that doesn't seem as exotic or foreign that you can sign up for. So I'm going to get started in the presentation for the day and go through this. I know we have an hour. I like to keep this to an hour. I'll try to be detailed but brief all at the same time. So what I want to start off is telling you a little bit about Overton Travel. Since I have some newbies here, I will take a moment to tell you who I am. Overton Travel, I am the founder, the owner of Overton Travel. Overton Travel, we are a Black woman-owned company. We're specializing in life-changing experiences. I tell people, what I need to tell people more often is that we do cultural experiences. We do not do vacation. So if you're coming on a trip expecting to just relax, I do 1 or 2 of those a year. The Caribbean ones, you can relax, but everything else is really an experience. You're going to come on this trip to learn about the destination, to learn about the history, the culture, to meet the people, to taste the food. So it is a culturally immersive trip, and it's going to take you on a journey that my hope is that you will never, ever forget. We take care of everything for you. We take care of the flights. I'm based out of New York, and most of my clients are based out of New York. So all the flights and the packages, you'll see they leave from JFK. However, if you want to leave from Florida, Wisconsin, Mississippi, wherever, I can help you make those arrangements as well. So it's based out of New York, but I have clients all around the country. So just let me know where you want to leave from. You can either come to New York and leave with the group, what most people like to do, or you can fly from your home airport and meet us in destination. So I can help you with all of those arrangements of flights, the hotel, the tours. We have food included. So it really is a package deal. So you just pay and show up, and we take care of the rest. So it's all about creating those experiences. And so I'm excited about these new experiences for 22 and 2023. It's been a while since a lot of you have traveled. Most of you know that I traveled during the pandemic as well. I was a firm believer in masking up. You know, I said they mask up and prayed up. And that is what I did. So I never really stopped traveling. I know a lot of people did. So now it's time to get back into it. And so, all right. So what I want to do is just tell you about our upcoming trips. And like I mentioned before, you can always go to overtontravel.com to find out about the trips. If you have questions here, you can place them in the chat, and I will look at them at the end of the session. So put them in now, and then I'll get to them at the end of the session. Okay. So let's get going. The first trip that we had, actually Vietnam is actually closed now, but I made this presentation last week. Vietnam is an amazing trip. We did it in 2018, and we're doing it again in 2022. They're going in October. I actually quit my full-time job. This was the reason I quit my job. I was out of vacation time, and I really, 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 really wanted to go to Vietnam. And so I said, all right, God, this must be your signal that it's time to take that leap of faith. And so I gave my notice. I gave my notice to my job that I was going to leave September 28th was the last day, and September 30th, I was on a plane going to Vietnam. So anyhow, it's an amazing trip, wonderful trip, very unique in the sense that it is a little exotic. It's very eye-opening because most Americans, when we think of Vietnam, we think of the Vietnam War. We think of the war. And Vietnam is a country. and not a war. So think of it as that way. You get a different perspective on it. The place is beautiful. The people are the most friendliest you want to meet. Beautiful beaches, beautiful temple. It really is a great trip. So I'm not sure if I'll bring it back in 2023, maybe 2024, but at the end of the um, um, call, feel free to email me if you're interested in any trip, or put it in a chat and say, hey, Lori, I do want to go in 2023. And all these trips are available by popular demand. All right, so that's Vietnam. So I talked about some of the highlights that we have in Vietnam. And it's also a very well-priced trip. It's a good value for what you get. We're gone for about 12 days on this trip, and is fully escorted. We have an amazing tour guide, and the price is fairly good for what you get. And so these are some pictures from our trip to Vietnam in 2018. So it's funny, this picture up here in the right-hand corner, one of the clients said it looked like we're in wheelchairs, but we were in rickshaws, trishaws, and they were pushing us around. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the trip that is open and available for you, Egypt. Egypt. We're going to Egypt October 22nd through the 30th. Egypt is a bucket list trip, and it should be. Egypt is amazing. The pyramids are a sight to behold. You see the pyramid, you see the Sphinx. My personal favorite part of the Egypt trip is the Valley of the Kings, because that was something I didn't know much about, and it was just out in the desert and what I envisioned Egypt to be like. What I like about this trip is it's an active trip, moderately active trip. We spend 2 nights in Cairo in the beginning and 1 night in Cairo in the end, and the 4 nights in between you're on a Nile cruise. So we're on a beautiful luxury Nile cruise ship flowing down the Nile. Just imagine Cleopatra back in the day. And so the Nile cruise ships are small. They're not like the big ocean cruises that you may be used to with Royal Caribbean or Carnival or what have you. They have maybe 200 or so people, 200 to 300 people on those cruise ships. So it's very nice and intimate, and they can get to all of the smaller ports that we visit. So some of the things that we do in Egypt is, of course, can't go to Egypt without going to see the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx. We have the 4-night cruise on the Nile. We go to the Valley of the Kings. We go to Luxor Temple. We see the statues of Ramses. We go to the Temple of Philae. We go to the Egyptian Museum, which is amazing. They're planning a new Egyptian museum that was supposed to open, I think, last year. It's supposed to open this year. Now I think it's supposed to open next year. I know somebody emailed me and said, Lori, we want to wait to go to the new Egyptian museum is open. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's supposed to be next year, but I'm going this year, and the old museum is amazing as it is. So if you do want to go to Egypt, sign up now. I think I'm sending my final list in by Monday or Tuesday. So sign up by Monday, contact me and say, Lori, I want to go to Egypt, because this trip is closing soon, and it's just amazing. I think I have some pictures from our last Egypt trip as well. So this is the trip that we did in 2018 to Egypt. So we had a nice group. So that's also, I think, that in front of Queen Heptus, I can't say the name right, tomb. This is in the Valley of the King. That's me and my camel. And then that is us on a boat trip as well. So like I said, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, or drop them in the Q&A box, and I will get to you. I will get to you at the end of the presentation. Okay. The next trip that's open for 2022 is Iceland. Iceland is the hot spot right now. I'm like, it's hot now, but I planned this trip last year. So I feel that we were ahead of the curve. One of the things I like to do, a lot of people go to, we have the trip to Italy and France and London and things like that. But let's take you to places that you may have not thought about going. So, I didn't think about going to Iceland. So Iceland is great. It's a short flight. I think it's like maybe like 4 to 6 hours. It's a short flight. It's different than any other trip that I've done before. It's in the winter. It is a cold trip. You see the Northern Lights. This picture here is a picture of the Northern Lights. We're going to go hunt for Northern Lights. Northern Lights are only visible at certain times of the year because it has to be super duper dark to see it. So that's why you usually have to go during the winter month, because that's when the sky is the darkest. And so what this trip we're going to do, we're going to fly into Reykjavik. We'll spend the first night and the last night in downtown in the city of Reykjavik, exploring there, and then 3 nights in the middle. We're going to go out to the countryside in southern Iceland so we can see the Northern Lights. So it's similar to, like, you guys know, you live in a city and you don't see the stars as bright in the city as when you go down to the country. When you go down to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, when you go out to the country, out to the woods, you see the stars brighter in the woods than you do in the city. That's the same concept with the Northern Light. So we'll go we'll spend 3 nights out in the countryside, and we'll try to spot these Northern Lights. And while we're there, we have tours planned. So we'll go see the waterfalls, which are frozen and beautiful. We'll see glaciers. They have underwater geysers, which keep the ground hot. So we'll even eat like bread that's baked underground. And so the ground is so hot, you can bake bread there. So that's amazing. Also, no trip to Iceland is complete without a trip to the Blue Lagoon. You'll go there, get in the water. It's supposed to have healing properties and it's good for your skin. So Iceland, that's another kind of new trip that we have on the docket for 2022. And if you want to join that one, I think you probably have until maybe the 13th or 14th of this month to join the trip. I have, I think, three seats left for the Iceland trip. So let me know if you want one of those 3 seats available. So let me see. Okay, so there is a question about Egypt, since I just talked about Egypt. There are no special vaccine to go to Egypt. You just need your regular immunizations that you would take to go. The CDC recommends that you have hepatitis, your hepatitis A, your typhoid fever, your tetanus shot, and things like that up to date. So you just have your regular vaccines. You do need a visa to go to Egypt, but with the visa, I take care of that for you. So that's not a problem for Egypt. Okay. All right. So, and there's a question about Black Parish, and I will get to that. Okay. All right. So Iceland, that's a great trip. I think I talked about already some of the things that we'll be doing. That's the next page. Iceland. Yep, they want to hunt for Northern Lights, go to Blue Lagoon. We're going to see the diverse landscape along the south coast. And Icelandic cuisine is so different. So you'll try that as well. Okay. Mexico, we're going to Cancun in December. Or we may or may not go to Cancun, because this trip has not had many people sign up for it. So I guess you guys feel that you can go to Cancun on your own. I'm not quite sure. So this trip is questionable right now. It hasn't got many responses. So if any of you are thinking about Cancun, let me know, because I may have to pull this trip. It's like radio silence when we talk about Cancun. It's a great one. I got a great deal. We're going to the Secret Divine in Cancun. It's in a hotel zone. It's a 5-star hotel. It's all inclusive, so all your food, all your drinks, and it's called Secret Divine because it has really good wine. You guys know I'm a wine lover, so the drinks are good, the food is good, the location is good. Even the price is right on this one. So I thought people would be jumping all over this, but apparently not. So Cancun may be pulled if there's not enough interest in it. If you are interested, let me know and I'll keep it. If not, I'll take it off the list and we'll move on. So that is the last trip of 2022 we have. So I'm going to check the Q&A and see if there's anything else we need to answer right now. Okay. So, all right. So nothing about the 2022. So I'm going to move forward to 2023. And so for the last couple of years, we have been starting the year off with Jamaica, man. I love Jamaica. It's an easy trip. This is a vacation. I had mentioned earlier that all my trips are on the go, run, 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 run. When we get to Jamaica, it's relaxing. We stay at a beautiful 5-star resort. We stay at the Jewel Grand in Montego Bay. It's 15 minutes from the airport. So from the time we land and get our luggage to, like I say, within a half an hour later, we are at the resort with a rum punch, pina colada, whatever you want, pineapple juice if you want, in your hand. We go for 5 nights, the 15th to the 20th. It's a great trip. We just relax, and the resort also has activities planned, so you can do things at the resort. I will plan some activities for those who want to go, but you don't have to. So in the past, we've done a trip down to Negril, where we went to Margaritaville and people danced like it was 1999 in the sand. We've done trips to Martha Brae, where you can go river rafting on the raft. So the thing is, like, you can do something or not. We do have an all white night in Jamaica. Some trips we do all white, some we don't. I'll try to let you know ahead of time. That was one of the questions, because people say, "Hey, Lori, do you want to do all white night?" And I say, "Yeah." So usually it's the clients who come to me and say, "Hey, let's do it," and then I'll say, "Let's do it." And usually folks typically have a white outfit there. But you'll see in 2023, I'll start doing more of these themed nights, because it seems like folks like to get dressed up. We do all whites or shades of orange, because orange is an Overton Travel color. So I'll let you know about that well in advance. So you can get your outfits ready. So that's Jamaica, January 15th through the 20th. Always an amazing trip. That trip is about halfway full now. We have maybe about 15 or so people booked, 15 or so. So if you want to join Jamaica, just let me know. And it's a great way to start the year. Like I said, the trip is $19.99 per person. All the prices that you see are based upon double occupancy. The single rates are a little bit more. They do have a supplement, and that is listed on the website. We stay at the Jewel Grand all-inclusive resort. Let's see the next trip. So these are pictures from the trip we took last year. It was amazing. So much fun. All right. February, we're going back to Panama. We went to Panama in 2018, had a fabulous time, and wanted to go back. So we're going to Panama February 5th through the 12th. It's a week. It's an easy trip. You know, we have a direct flight from New York down to Panama City. It's one of I think it's the only place in the world where you can go to see the sunrise on the Atlantic in the morning, and to see the sunset in the Pacific in the afternoon. It's a narrow strip, the narrow country in Central America. It's great. The food is amazing. I still remember probably one of the best cups of coffee I ever had was in Panama. Great coffee in Panama, great food in Panama, a lot of diversity in the culture and landscape within Panama. You could be in Panama City, which is very metropolitan, deep. It's full of tall buildings, which I didn't think. It's one of the financial centers of the world. So Panama City is sprawling, it's metropolitan, very modern. But then you drive maybe an hour later and you're in the rainforest. You're in the water. It has the Panama Canal, which is an amazing engineering feat as well. So there's so much to offer. This is going to be a jam-packed trip as well. So we will be based in Panama City for I think 6 or 7 nights that we're there. I think it's 6 nights, 7 days, 6 nights. We'll be based in Panama City, but every day we get up and we have a day trip. So you don't have to unpack and repack, but you have to get up from early morning, and we're going to go out. We'll go to see the Embera Indigenous Village tour. This is great. We take a little canoe down to see the indigenous people, the Emberas. And it's a great day spending with them. We do the Panama City and Canal tour. We do the Atlantic side tour with a train. We take a train trip as well. We go to the Valley tour to see the Valley of Anton. We go to the San Blas tour and see the indigenous people there. So I think there are like 7 different groups of indigenous native people in Panama, and we go see 2 of the 7 while we're there. And then we do have a last day is option. It's free, and you can actually take the boat ride through the locks of the Panama Canal. I know a lot of you have gone through the locks and cruises and things like that, so I didn't include it as part of the package, but it is optional for those who haven't gone through the lock itself. So it's a great tour. Easy plane ride, great value. Latin America offers some really, really good values this year. If you notice, I have, I think, 3 Latin American trips planned for 2023, just because I find they're great values and offering very unique experiences and kind of fit that Overton Travel model of offering those cultural experiences and giving you great value as well. And the accommodation that we get there, I find that your money goes far in Latin America. So you may see more Latin America trip pop up going forward. So Panama is amazing. We have a great group of people signed up for it already. The space still available, but go ahead before it sells out. A note, a lot of y'all like to wait till the last minute. Don't, come on, if you're interested, sign up. Just sign up. The deposit is $300 if you sign up in the beginning, and that will hold your spot. So don't wait till the last minute to sign up for these trips. And then also, the sooner you sign up, then the easier it is to make the payments over time. So Panama, sign up for that trip. Great trip. Let me see. Now in March, we are going to Senegal and West Africa. This trip is kind of near and dear to my heart because the very first international trip that I took when I was in high school was to Senegal. So my first passport stamp was from Senegal. And so I have not been back here since high school. And so this is going to be a great trip for me. Senegal is amazing. Senegal and Ghana are very similar, but yet different. They're both West African countries. They both have history with the transatlantic slave trade. So you'll learn a lot in Senegal about the slave trade. We will visit Gorée Island, and you will visit the Door No Return. Similar to Ghana, how we visit Elmina Castle and see the Door No Return. There, we'll visit Gorée Island in Senegal and visit the Door No Return here as well. The difference is Senegal was colonized by the French, so it has a very different culture. You know, they speak French, Francophone, so culturally different than a place like Ghana, which was colonized by the English. So very different feel in Senegal and then in Ghana. So just because you've been to one part of West Africa doesn't mean that you shouldn't visit another country in West Africa, because very different culturally speaking. This trip is March 10th through to March 18th. It's going to be a great trip. Let me see what we have planned in this trip. So some of the highlights, we're going to do city tours of Dakar and St. Louis. We're going to visit Gorée Island and the slave house, like we mentioned. We explore the majestic Pink Lake. For those of you who don't know about the Pink Lake in Senegal is pink because of the salt content of it. It's so salty that the sunlight, when it reflects off of the lake, makes the lake look pink. And since it's so salty, the density of the lake is dense, and you cannot drown in the Pink Lake. So similar to in Israel, when you go to the Dead Sea and you can't drown in the Dead Sea, the similar concept with the Pink Lake. It's so salty, you can't drown in the Pink Lake. Beautiful Pink Lake. And also in Senegal, they have different colored sands. It's very beautiful to see. And of course, if we're going to go to the motherland, we're going to visit some local villages. We're going to visit a school. We're going to get up close and personal with the local people as well. We'll also do a bush ride in Senegal. It's not going to be safari to the extent of when we go to South Africa, where we spend 2 nights on a safari game reserve. This will be like a day, just going through some of the safari and seeing the wildlife. So and just you got to taste some of the wildlife in Senegal. So it's a little fun, a little adventure. So we're going to have history. We're going to have the culture. We're going to eat good food. We're going to learn about the transatlantic slave trade and the pain and suffering that our ancestors went through. And we're going to honor those who went through the Middle Passage, those that survived and those that did not survive. We honor them all. And then we'll have a little fun as well. So this is a great cultural experience, and I highly, 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 highly recommend that you sign up for this. And this is in March, and that's $43.99 per person, double occupancy. Okay. So before we go on, I'm just going to check the questions and see what we have. Okay, I'll answer some of those at the end. Yes, airfare is included in Jamaica, and all of the prices that you see here, airfare is included. And airfare from New York is included in everything that we have here. If you want to fly from a different destination, you will buy the land only price cost, and then we add your airfare from your destination. Okay. All right. Next one, April 15th. We are going to Guatemala. I know some of y'all are like, Lori, why are you going to Guatemala? I get this all the time. That happened to me when I went to Vietnam. Why are you going to Vietnam? What's in Vietnam? Now we have 25 people going to Vietnam. I think it's 22 or 23 people going to Vietnam this year. Always. Look, got to get ahead of the curve. You want to get to a place before it's overrun by tourists. You want to get to that place before the KFC and the McDonald's is there. You want to experience it in its richness. And Guatemala is still that way. It has great colonial history, beautiful landscape. It's located on the equator. I think you can still get that rich culture that I so love, and a lot of you so love. That's why you travel with Overton Travel, because you just don't want to see sites. Like, none of our trips are just, okay, we saw the site, check it off, go. It's not just all about the Instagrammable pictures. You will get those Instagram shots, yes, you will, but you'll also get the cultural experience as well. Guatemala is ripe for this type of trip. So what we're going to be doing in Guatemala, it's amazing. You're going to explore Antigua City. You're going to visit the largest handicraft market in the Americas. And let me tell y'all, one thing I know about Overton Travelers, y'all love to shop. I got to pull y'all from these markets and these stores. Oh my God, it's amazing. We could do a rest stop at the gas station on the side of the road, and I guarantee you somebody's going to be buying something from somebody selling some earring or a trinket. I'm like, this is just supposed to be a rest stop, y'all. But anyway, so it's one of the largest handicraft markets in the America. You're going to explore Lake, if I say this right, and Tisland, and visit local artisans. You're going to visit Tikal National Park, which is one of the most amazing parks in the world. You're going to shop with the Mayans on market days. So there's certain days. So in Guatemala, there's certain days when the locals come out to shop, and this is what they're buying. So we'll be shopping with the locals. So it's not just tourist stuff. It's the local handicraft, their local weave products and their hat. And it's just going to be great. And also the accommodations here they're all my trips have great accommodations. But what I like about some things is that we get to stay here at some of the more boutique type places, which aren't necessarily a chain restaurant, chain hotel. And we do a lot of the big Marriotts and the Reuse and the Hyatt, which are great. But on this particular trip, they're more locally owned. So the cultural experience goes beyond just what we do on the tours. It also transcends into the places that we stay. Try Guatemala, y'all. I know some of you are still on the fence. So we're going to have Wanderlust Wednesday on September 7th. That's dedicated just to Guatemala. I'll be sending that out shortly. So the tour operator that I'm using to plan the Guatemala trip is going to come and tell us all about that. So stay tuned, mark your calendars for September 7th for Guatemala. Okay. In May, we are going to Morocco. Morocco is one of my most popular trips. It's sold out for 2022, and I had a wait list, so I decided to bring it back for 2023. And rightly so. There's a reason why Morocco is popular because it's an amazing trip. This is one of those trips where you dream about. Um, and then when you're there, you just want to pinch yourself and say, I'm actually here. I am on this camel going in the desert. And yes, we do this. This picture is what we will be doing in Morocco, if you so choose. So let me just make a caveat. If you want to do this, this is definitely included in the tour, the camel ride through the desert. For those of you who may have mobility issues or a little afraid, we'll have a 4x4 Jeep that'll just take you to the to the tent to stay. But most people would love this camel ride in the desert. It's definitely one of the highlights. So Morocco, May 15th through the 26th. Also one of those jam-packed trips that is going to be a cultural experience. I'm going to say sorry, not sorry again. It's up every morning. I think we stay in maybe 6 different hotels during this trip because it's 2 nights here, 2 nights there. We visit Casablanca, we visit Fez, we visit Marrakesh, we visit Chefbourne, if I'm saying that correctly. That's the place you see in all the Instagram picture with people, the blue walls. So yes, so this is one of the places where we'll have probably a theme night because I want us all to dress in orange and take pictures with the blue background. So this is one of the places where we will have a themed dress code. But Morocco it's amazing. Also, I like the different accommodations we stay in. We'll have your traditional hotel combined with your regular hotel combined with the riads that they stay in Morocco, where you have the center courtyard, which is great. We'll also spend one night in the desert. We'll spend a night in a luxury safari tent. We'll also have a Moroccan cooking class. We'll visit the markets and the Medinas. And going to the market it's amazing. It's a maze. It's a city of itself. Y'all need to hold hands like little children because you can't get lost in those Medinas. And then we'll just be immersed in Moroccan culture. We'll visit the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca. It's one of the few mosques that allow non-Muslims to enter into the mosque, and you can see the grandeur of it. It's just gorgeous. So this is a great trip. So I would say sign up soon. People have already started booking Morocco 2023 already, since Morocco 2022 sold out. So start now. So yes, all of these trips are available for booking. So just go to overtontravel.com and you can see it. Okay, so let me get going. What's the next one? Oh, and these are pictures from the Morocco trip that we took in 2018 in front of the gate. That's us just having lunch here. We visited, I don't think we're visiting a school this time, but we visited a school last time. And then, of course, we visited the rug places, and my group bought up those Moroccan rugs. So it was a great trip. What's next? Greece, y'all. So look. Yeah, people on this call, you are getting the early info. We're technically dropping Greece on Friday. It's going to be dropped Friday as a new trip alert. But since it's so close, I wanted to tell you now, for those of you who are on the call, that we are going back to Greece next year. It's going to be June 8th through the 17th. Greece is probably one of the hottest places. I had a group in Greece in June this year, and I booked some other people on their custom tours. And literally Santorini, and I'm not even kidding, was almost sold out. I mean, it was so hard finding a room in Santorini. I took this on. My group trip was already booked, so that was no problem. But I had a client at the last minute asked me to book a trip to Greece for them, and I took it on, and I was almost sorry I did, because it was like finding a needle in a haystack, finding a room in Santorini right now. So Greece, always the cloud pleaser, one of my favorite European countries. I just love it. I have celebrated 2 birthdays personally in Greece. It's beautiful. The food is good. Um, most Greeks speak English as well, so communication is very easy, and it's just like Greece is not. It's a moderately paced trip. I do have tours planned on every island. We do visit. We go to Athens, and in Athens we do the Athens city tour. You can't go to Athens without going to see the Acropolis. So of course we're going to do the Acropolis and the new Acropolis Museum in Athens. Then we go to Mykonos, and so I do a Mykonos tour there, and then the other 2 days you have free. Then we take the ferry over to Santorini, and of course in Santorini, you can't go to Santorini without doing an island tour of Santorini and doing wine tasting there as well. But then I give you free time in Greece. So it's a good tour for those who want some activity and some downtime. Also, let me just warn you, not give the caveat that this tour is not for those with mobility issues, just because a lot of the sidewalks are uneven. They're cobblestones, there's hill, there's a lot of walking on uneven surfaces. So just be mindful of this trip. If you do have mobility issues, you may have to sit out a lot of the tours or some of the tours on this trip. So I do want to just give this caveat that it is really more for people who are able to get around fairly easily. Love this trip. Let me see. Yeah, we just went in June. So this is some pictures from the group that went in June. They had a great time. So that's the hotel we stayed in, or that may be or that may be at the museum, the Acropolis Museum. And then also we have an optional tour with Dinner in the Sky. That's always fun. If you don't know about Dinner in the Sky, you should look it up, and you'll see how much fun it is. It literally is Dinner in the Sky. Okay. So I'm going to keep moving. I'm doing a time check. We have about 15, 16 minutes left. In July, we are going back to Ghana. Y'all, I just came from Ghana 2 weeks ago, I think a week or 2 weeks ago. So y'all see my eyes drooping, and I started to get a little glazed over. If I slur some words or something, y'all got to cut me some slack, because I've been ripping and running all summer long, and I love it. And I'm still on my Ghana high here. Ghana's amazing. If you got the email that I sent out yesterday with some pictures, this right here, this is a picture of one of my clients. This is Rosalind. I don't even know if Rosalind's on the call, or Rosalind is famous. This is the picture when we went to the village, and we danced with the children. We met the local villagers, went to a naming ceremony. So it's just a great cultural trip. Ghana as well as Senegal. When I visit those two places in West Africa, I feel like I've been to the motherland. West Africa is so different than East Africa or North Africa, South Africa. It just has a different feel than those other places. And Ghana really makes you feel like I've come home, and they make you feel that way. They say Akwaba when you come to Ghana, and that means welcome. And people are always so excited to see African Americans in particular come back home. What's special about next year's trip is that we're going during PanaFest. So it's always, there's a different energy around PanaFest. When we went in 2019, it was PanaFest as well. And lots and lots of people come back to Ghana during PanaFest. So there's a different energy around it when you go during the festival. So Ghana, we go to Accra. Let me see if I have some of the highlights of Ghana. We go to Accra, and while we're in Accra, we go and do an Accra city tour. We go see the W.E.B. Du Bois Center. We go to Black Star Square. We'll spend some nights in Elmina, where you visit the Elmina Castle. We'll spend some time on the Cape Coast as well. So it's a very, very culturally experienced trip where you won't get, it's not a vacation. I'll tell people but you will get your money and your time's worth on this trip. So you'll visit the slave dungeon. We'll go to Panafed. We'll attend the African naming ceremony in a local village. You'll shop in traditional markets for fabric, jewelry, and other unique items. There is so much shopping in Ghana. Another place I got to pull y'all away from the market. You go to the different Ashanti craft villages. We also have African outfits made. We have a seamstress come the first day that we're in Accra, and they visit with us, take our measurements. We pick out our fabrics, and we have dresses made. I think this picture's pretty dark, but this is some of the outfits we had made this year for the group. Here in the picture in the upper left-hand corner, this is us dancing in the village with the children, and these are just us at the group at a slave dungeon, and this is at another site here. Oh, this is at the W.B. Du Bois Center on the bottom right-hand corner. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to do during Ghana. It's during the summer, so for all my educators out there, I think about y'all who can only travel during certain times of the year, or those of you who are children who need summer trip. Next year, I have packed the summer with I think maybe 4 or 5 trips that can be taken while school is out. Okay. After Ghana, Bali. Bali is a dream. I had one of my clients who went to Bali when we went in 2020. She came back to me and she said, Lori, she said, if I never go anywhere else again, I'm good. She's like, Bali was just so wonderful. And I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot about Bali. Bali is all about wellness and peace and serenity. In Bali, you'll see lots and lots of temples in Bali. The people in Bali, they are Hindu, and they believe that you should always be close to a place of worship. So that's why you'll see so many temples around in Bali. I have a group that's leaving for Bali tonight. 8:55, they're leaving JFK, going to Bali, and they are super, super, super excited. Once again, Bali is one of those rare trips that's moderately paced. We spend 4 nights in Ubud, which is in northern Bali, and that's more in the mountain area. We have tours planned, I think 3 to 4 days we're there. We give you 1 free day in Ubud, and then we spend 4 nights down in Nusa Dua, which is on the beach. We have beautiful 5-star resorts that we're staying at in Bali, and you can just relax. They have beautiful pools, beautiful beaches, so you can just 2 days you can just do nothing but sit on the beach and drink whatever you want to drink. So Bali is like a dream trip. We're going back again next year. Folks have already started booking the Bali trip. It is open for booking. Put your deposits down now, secure your spot, and just start planning and paying on the trip. So by April, May, you should be done. And then with the payment. So yeah, Bali is a dream trip. So let me see. Like I said, we'll explore sacred temples. You'll walk through the famous rice terraces of Bali. We even have a Balinese cooking class. You learn how to make some of that great Balinese food, and you relax on gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous beaches in Bali. The price for this is $38.99 per person, double occupancy. And like always, it does include flights, includes your hotel, and includes your tour. So great, great value for the Bali trip. Moving on. These are some pictures from the 2020 trip to Bali. So they did a boat ride. You can see this is a cute little couple at the nest here. Some of the folks having a floating breakfast. So great, great, great trip to Bali. South Africa. Oh my goodness, I just get chilled every time I think about South Africa. One of my favorites. I know, children, to me, my trips are like children. You're not supposed to have a favorite child, but most folks do have a favorite child, and I think South Africa is like my one of my favorite trips. Probably because South Africa was the very, very first trip I did when I started Overton Travel, so it's near and dear to my heart. South Africa is always a crowd pleaser. I would say most of my clients' first trip with Overton Travel is usually with South Africa. And so South Africa, once you go in South Africa, I got you, man. You're hooked. You're like a client for life after South Africa. It's just a great trip. I don't know. South Africa is amazing, is beautiful. So it ticks all the boxes. Number one, it has the culture that you're looking for. We learn about the original life form started in Africa and specifically South Africa. So it has that culture and that history. It has the beauty. When we get to Cape Town and you go to Table Mountain or Signal Hill, sometimes Table Mountain, you can go or can't go if it's too windy. The cable car doesn't go up to Table Mountain, or they do maintenance in Table Mountain, and we may not be able to go up to the top. But when we don't do Table Mountain, we do Signal Hill, which gives you very similar views. The views are amazing. We go to the Cape of Good Hope, which is gorgeous. We see the penguins. We see the baboons. It's a beautiful place. So it ticks the box with the history, with the beauty, with the exoticness of the safari. Safari is usually on everybody's bucket list, most people's bucket list, rightly so. Safari is just an amazing experience. You learn about creatures great and small, from the elephants to the dung beetles to the birds. Everything in nature has a purpose. And when you think about it, God has a purpose for everything. So he has a purpose for me too. So it's just amazing when you go to the safari and see how the circle of life and everything is entwined. The safaris are a luxury experience as well. So we stay on the game reserve in a beautiful safari lodge. It's like being at a resort. I always get my massage every time I go to the safari lodge. So it's great as far as that concerned. We spend time in Johannesburg as well, and we learned about the anti-apartheid movement. We spend a lot of time Tracy Mandela's steps as well. And Nelson Mandela is a national treasure. He's a worldwide treasure. So we spend a lot of time in Soweto, go to the Apartheid Museum, which is very well done. And also we eat good in South Africa. We eat great food. Probably one of the most common questions I get about South Africa is, what kind of food we're going to eat? You're not eating all wild game. The food is good. It's great. It's great. And your money goes far in South Africa as well. So as my daddy would say, you can eat high off the hog in South Africa and it won't break the bank. So one of my all-time favorite trips, the dates are August 16th to the 26th. Folks have already started signing up for South Africa right now. It has sold out a couple of years. So if you're thinking about it, go sign up for it. I've talked about some of the things already. We go to Cape Town, we go to Safari, we visit the townships and spend time with local people there. It's a great trip. We visit Robben Island, which is Mandela and other political prisoners where they were incarcerated. Of course, y'all know Overton Travel, y'all know me. If they make wine there, we're going to taste it. We spent a day at the wine line and the wineland visiting two wineries. This year, I'm really excited because there is a new Black-owned winery in Cape Town that will be, not in Cape Town, in the wineland that we'll be visiting. So the Black South African, they actually own the land and they produce the wine. So I've had Black winemakers before, but never where they actually own the farm. And so we'll be having lunch there as well as getting a tour tasting by the owner. So I'm super excited about this year's tour. I think I've been to South Africa 6, 7, I don't know how many times, and I get excited every single time I go back. It's not a one and done trip at all. So sign up for South Africa. Okay. Next trip, these are pictures from South Africa. We always have a great time. Love, 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 love this trip. Peru, a new trip that I'm bringing to you guys for next year. Peru, Machu Picchu has to be on everybody's bucket list. Another Latin America gem. This is the third Latin America trip that I'm offering to you guys. This is going to be a great trip. If you've had that Peruvian chicken, that Peruvian food, go to Peru just to eat. I mean, I heard a lot about Peruvian chicken. I was like, how good can chicken be? Try it. Chicken is good. It's that green sauce that they put up there. But go to Peru. You got to go to Machu Picchu. You got to see the llamas. It's just an amazing experience. You got to see the Sacred Valley as well. So if you guys have questions about Peru, just ask me. We take train rides up to Machu Picchu. The altitude is high, so you have to be able to handle the high altitude. If you have any concerns about that, talk to me or talk to your doctor and see if they recommend you going to Peru. But we do take our time. We don't just go straight up. So we do succession when we go to Peru. So you're going to visit Machu Picchu. You're going to do a train ride. I know a lot of you love train rides. We're going to visit the Sacred Valley of the Incas. We're going to tour Lima, Peru. We're going to tour Cusco, Peru. So it's going to be a very active trip with a little bit of downtime. Similar to the Guatemala trip as well, we have very unique accommodation in Peru, so I'm excited about that. Also, Latin America offers a great value right now. So where I find that my Europe trips and even some of the Africa trips are creeping up in price, Latin America is still a really, really good value right now. Kind of Peru is out there right now. You can start paying on it, and it's over a year away. So great trip to take and something different. Okay, so those are the trips that we have planned so far that are definite. Here, these are the other ones that are coming up. And so just want to let you know what is kind of on the roadmap. I'm working on a trip to Italy, specifically to Rome and the Amalfi Coast. That's going to be in early July. Hopefully I can get that together in the next couple of weeks and get that finalized. Also, we have Paris and Amsterdam. That's in October. That's going to be in early October. Folks have been asking me about Black Paris ever since I did that Black Paris webinar with Ricky Stevenson during Wanderlust Wednesday. It's coming, y'all. It's coming. It's going to be in October. So I'm trying to wait for those rates to become available. And I'm planning on doing a combination of Paris and Amsterdam. We'll do some days, we'll do a day of Black Paris. And then we'll do a day of Black Amsterdam. We're in Amsterdam as well. So doing something a little different for y'all here. So that is coming up. Just give me a little time to get that together. Also, what's coming up is we have Dubai in November. For those of you who went with me in March, we had an awesome time in Dubai. Awesome time in Dubai. Dubai sold out. I think it was like 41 of us in Dubai who went in March. I was so happy because that was still when COVID was, still kind of strong. And folks said, hey, I'm going. So we went to Dubai in March, had a wonderful time. We're going back in November. And this is a great trip because it's one of those luxury trips. We usually stay at the JW Marriott Marquis, which was once the tallest hotel in the world. I think now it's the second tallest hotel in the world. And it's just a great, great, great tour. So stay tuned for Dubai. Thailand, we're bringing that back. We had that slated for 2020, and y'all know what happened in 2020. We canceled that, but we're bringing it back. Thailand is also one of my favorite trips as well. One of those, we go to 3 different cities, we're on the go, see so much, do so much. The food, just going for the food alone in Thailand. I've been 3 times, so I'm going again probably, and I don't need to see nothing else, but it's just the food is good. So I am there for the food in Thailand. So that's what we got planned, y'all, for next year. So stay tuned for some more trips, and then pretty soon I have to start working on 2024. So these are just some testimonials of what people say about Overton Travel. It's been good. Good things. So keep saying good things about Overton Travel. The best compliment that you can give to me, to give to us, is to do a referral. If you go on a trip, don't keep it a secret and you had a good time, tell folks about it. Give out my name, give out my email address, give out the website, overtontravel.com. Give it out, have people go and sign up on the email list so they can get the newsletters, because that's how we grow and are able to offer these great trips. So the website is overtontravel.com. If you have any questions about any trips coming up, go and visit that there, and your question can probably be answered. If you don't find the answer on overtontravel.com, email me at lori@overtontravel.com, and I will try to answer your question for you. So I'm at the end of my presentation. I'm going to start looking at the Q&As right now. Thank you for joining us. Um, this quote, I love this quote. You'll never understand the true meaning of your life until you travel and experience how others are living theirs. Travel. I call travel a classroom without walls because you learn so much when you travel. Okay. So thank you very much. So let me go to some of the, I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and I'm going to start answering some of the questions. I think, Claudette, I see someone who's been raising their hand. If you have a question, please put it in the Q&A or even the chat, whatever you can get to. And that's the way I will answer your question for you. So whoever's raised, I think it's Claudette, you're raising the hand, put your question in the Q&A box. All right, so now I'm going to go to some of these questions. So the first question is, they wanted me to elaborate about Black Paris. Yeah, and so I'll let you, they want to know the attire and things of that nature. I will let you know in advance if we have special attires for the group. So that's not a problem there. Let me see, I answered that question already. Is airfare included? Yes, airfare is included in all the prices. Airfare from New York is included. So I answered that question. That's done. The other question. So someone said if they're traveling alone, how can I pair people up to help them avoid a single supplement? What I try to do is someone says, hey, I'm looking for a roommate. What I'll do is, it's not guaranteed, say if you're signed up to go to Guatemala, what have you, and you need a roommate, and then somebody else tells me they need a roommate, I'll just have my eyes and ears open and I'll say, hey, so-and-so looking for a roommate, and I'll do an email introduction to the two people that are looking for roommates, and then I'll have you guys meet each other to determine if you're a good fit. So I don't pair people up just randomly. I usually will introduce people who are looking for a roommate, and then you'll determine if you're a right match. Because sometimes after people talk, they say, you know what? No, we're not going to be roommates because for whatever reason. Sometimes after people talk, they say, oh, great. Yeah, we're going to be roommates. So I let you guys determine that. I've also been thinking of maybe trying to create like a Facebook group or something where people can go on like Overton Travel group and say, hey, I'm looking for a roommate, and try to match up there. So that's something I've been mulling over. So let me see if I can get that going. Okay. Let me see what the next question is. Is it one hotel? No, Senegal is 2 hotels. So there's a question about Senegal. There are 2 hotels. We will be staying in Dakar for most of the time. If I remember correctly, the hotels are listed in the itinerary. I think it's the Radisson Blu we're staying at in Dakar, and then we stay in another hotel when we move to St. Louis. So there's 2 different hotels that we stay at when we're in Senegal, and the hotels are listed on the booking site, on the website for Senegal, and the whole itinerary is there, as well as the airline tickets and everything are booked, as well as the flight schedule is. Just someone said, yeah, we do have to get the places before they're Americanized. So yeah, thank you for that comment. Let's go while they still have their original culture. Okay, so Joanne, if you can, someone mentioned that they're interested in the Greece and the Vietnam trip. All the trips are on the website. You can look at all the details there. If you want to reach out to me to get more information, like more specific information, feel free to call me or email me directly after. I'll try to copy down your email here, but just in case if I don't get to you, Joanne, reach out to me after the call and we can further discuss. Someone else interested in Bali, call me or go on the website. All of those trips are open. Greece and Bali are open. Vietnam for this year is closed. I may have a room, but you have to buy your airfare separately. And I know the airfare for Vietnam has gone up about $700 when I originally booked it. So that's another good reason to kind of book the trip when it first comes out, because about 60 to 90 days before the trip, I have to release my unused space. So I hold a block of rooms and airfare for a while, but if I haven't sold it, I have to release it. So so if you if you want to book a trip, get in early. If you book, say, within 60 or even 90 days sometime, I have had to release my space. And then when you want to book, the prices may have gone up. So that's the other advantage of booking early. You get the prices advertised. The price for South Africa is $49.99. That was a question, $49.99, and that's based upon double occupancy. Okay, so let me close some of the ones that I answered so I can get those done. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So Mary had this question. She loved to go to Tanzania and Kenya, maybe 2024. Yes, that is on my personal bucket list, Marion. So I just need to get that together. So 2024, I really do want to get an East Africa trip there. So Tanzania and Kenya, I would love to do it in 2024. So stay tuned for that. I haven't been there. I don't know that much about it. So I need to spend a little more time researching. So some trips take a little bit longer to put together when I'm learning about it too. So that's why I haven't been able to put Kenya and Tanzania out there yet. And I would also like to do a side trip to Zanzibar when we go there as well. Someone's asking about Costa Rica. If there is demand for Costa Rica, I'll do it. So I did a trip to Costa Rica, I think maybe, 2014, 2015. And it was amazing. We had a great time in Costa Rica. I'll do trips by demand. So if people want to go, I'll do it. I think I offered a trip to Costa Rica last year, the year before, and it didn't do too well. And I was surprised. So I took it off. But if y'all want to go, let me know. And I'll be happy to go back to Costa Rica. And then someone asked, what if you're traveling alone? Do you have a double occupancy rate? No. The double occupancy rate is only if you have a roommate. So if you have all the prices listed are for two people sharing one room. If you're one person sharing a room, then of course the price is higher because you're not splitting the cost with someone. So on the website, when you click on each trip, they will always tell you, it tells you the double occupancy rate. That's the rate that's listed. But if you go into the section that says the pricing and payment, it will also list what the single supplement is. The single supplement usually it can range from $400 on some trip to $1,000 or $1,500 on other trips. It depends on how the hotel treats singles. So it does vary per trip. Like an Egypt trip or Iceland trip, the single supplement may be $400 to $500. But on a Greece trip, the single supplement can be, $1,200 or $1,500. It just depends on the hotel. Okay, so yes, you can share a room or you can be single. That was the question. Do you say Bali is mostly at the beach? No, Bali is a combination of mountain and beach. So in the Bali trip, we spent 4 days in Ubud. Ubud is up in the mountains, and then we spend 4 days in Nusa Dua. Nusa Dua is a resort, and then it's on the beach. So we do have some tours planned while you're at the resort, but then we have 2 days with no tours planned at all. And so you can spend the time at the pool or at the beach and you can relax. What my groups have done in the past is they've just gone out and done other things. So some people just relax, and then the hotel concierge can help you find things to do locally. But where we're located in Bali and Nusa Dua is a whole strip of hotels and shopping and things like that. So even though there's no activities planned, you can certainly find some things to do on your own. So it's half beachy, half mountain. Wait a minute. So someone asked me about the price for Mexico. The total price for Mexico is $17.99. I don't know what the monthly price is. At this point, you probably have to almost pay for most of it because that trip is in December. So the final payment is coming up. So I put that trip out there a long time ago. Y'all could have been making monthly payments on it 6 months ago. So now it's probably almost due, the price of the trip at this point. So, and realistically, I don't know if that trip is going to happen because I need a lot of people to sign up for it. So unless you got you and your crew coming, just let me know if you really need to keep it. What about the Seychelles? Yeah, the Seychelles is on my list as well. I did a Wanderlust Wednesday on the Seychelles last year, and it's on my list. So I'm working on something for the Seychelles. So I'm mulling over something for the Seychelles. So stay tuned. It may be in late 2023 or maybe something in 2024. That's a big trip as well. So I like to give a lot of time for the big trips. So let me see. Are there any other questions? Let me see. I think I've answered all of the questions that are there. Let me scroll to the bottom, and that's that. So guys, thank you all for joining. Let me see. Is there anything in the chat? Thank you all for joining me today. I think I have one more poll question at the end before we leave. Let me go to the next. So I have 2 poll questions. I want to know, what trips are you interested in 2022 or 2023? So the first poll has some of the trips, in the second, and there are 2 questions here. I can only put 10 choices per poll, so you'll see. I'm gonna launch this poll and let me know if you have interest in any of the 2022 or 23 trips, and I can reach out to you as well. I don't know if I did this poll question correctly. And so you can, if I didn't do this poll correctly so you can see it, then you guys can just follow up with me afterwards. So I want to thank you all for joining. I am a little bit over my hour. So I'm going to end this here. Be mindful of your time. But like I said, go to overtontravel.com to get more details about the trips. You have my email address at lori@overtontravel.com. Reach out to me at any time. Tell a friend, join the list, do travel with us because it is an amazing, amazing experience. I call travel my therapy. Is what I do when I need to just get away and disconnect from everything that's going on in my everyday life. So do continue to see the world. Thank you for joining us for Wanderlust Wednesday. Our next Wanderlust Wednesday is going to be in September, and we're going to focus on Guatemala at that point in time. So you can learn about that. I'll be sending more information about that. So in the meantime, be blessed, be well, and travel often. Take care.